Welcome to the Steve Ames Show with guitarist Sandy Renda, pianist Mike Yanuzzi, and my special guest, entertainer SPATZ Donovan. And now, on with the show. I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. Better be ready about 8:30. Now, honey, don't be late. I wanna be there when the band starts playing. Remember when we get there, honey. 2 steps, I'm gonna have them all. I'm gonna dance off both your shoes when they play those Jelly Roll Blues. Tomorrow night at the Dogtown Strutters Hall. I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. Better be ready about 8:30. Now, honey, don't be late. I wanna be there when the band starts playing. Remember when we get there, honey. 2 steps, I'm gonna have them all. I'll dance off both your shoes when they play those Jelly Roll Blues. Tomorrow night at the Dogtown Strutters. Tomorrow night at the Dogtown Strutters. Tomorrow night at the Dogtown Strutters Ball. Thank you very much, Dogtown Strutters Ball. And we're having a ball today right here at our favorite outdoor summertime location, the Park Place Pool in Springfield, New Jersey. We've been taping our summer shows here for 3 years, and it's nice to be back. Now, I'm sure that all of you saw the Summertime Olympics from London. Well, we don't have any Olympic champions on the show today, but we do have the Olympic champion of guitar players, Sandy Renda. And the Olympic champion of piano players, Mike Yanuzzi. You know, I'm often asked to name my favorite song, a very difficult task indeed. But this next tune is definitely in my top 10. Come to me, my melancholy baby. Cuddle up and don't feel blue. All your fears are foolish fancies, maybe. You know, dear, that I'm in love with you. Every cloud must have a silver lining. Wait until the sun shines through. Smile, my honey dear, while I kiss away each tear, or else I shall be melancholy too. Oh, come to me, my melancholy, oh, you little baby. Cuddle up and don't feel blue. All your fears are foolish fancies, maybe. You know, sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Every cloud must have a silver lining. Wait until the sun shines through. Smile, my honey dear, while I kiss away each tear, or else I shall be melancholy too. Sandy and Mike, how does it feel to be outdoors here at the Park Place Pool in Springfield?
For change, we hit a home run with the weather.
We certainly did.
Very nice.
We were supposed to tape here last month, but it rained. We were supposed to tape here exactly a year ago, August 2011, but we had Hurricane Irene, and now they're predicting Hurricane Isaac. And Mike, you had a good time in Cape May on your vacation?
We had a great time. You're lucky I came back. That's all I can say. I was trying to figure out a way to just stay there, but
Well, you came back just in time for a great number, and what's the number today?
Well, it's a little medley. The first one is Never on Sunday, combined with It's Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White.
Let's hear it for the two summertime musicians, Sandy Renda and Mike Yanuzzi. Special guest, entertainer SPATZ Donovan.
Where did you get that hat? Folks ask me every day. Isn't it a nifty one? You'll often hear them say. Put it on, it's lucky. Can't you see the people smile? You'll find them often asking me the history of the style. It's the hat me dear old father wore upon St. Patrick's Day. I talk about respect with his head erect as he marched down old Broadway. Sure, not a man in line looked half as fine, me dear old mother used to say, as your father did in his old-time lid upon St. Patrick's Day. It's the hat me dear old father wore upon St. Patrick's Day. I talk about respect with his head erect as he marched down old Broadway. Sure, not a man in line looked half as fine, me dear old mother used to say, as your father did with his old-time lid upon St. Patrick's Day.
SPATZ Donovan, my good friend. That was a wonderful song that you did. Tell the folks the origin of that number.
Well, that was from the motion picture with Frank Sinatra and, of course, Gene Kelly. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, where Gene Kelly is doing the clam bake down at the waterfront, and he does this amazing tap dance, which I didn't. And of course, he had his shillelagh. And it was the hat me dear old father wore upon St. Patrick's Day.
I love that song. You did a wonderful job on it. Now tell the folks about the time. I know this story, but I want the folks to hear the story about the time that you performed a show in Florida for MGM stars, including Gene Kelly. Tell that story.
Oh, that was exciting. It was on, I think, Disney World property, and we did a show that was for Blockbuster Video. And all the remaining remnants that were left of the MGM superstars, of the musical superstars, where of course they were all there, Debbie Reynolds and Mickey Rooney and Sid Charisse and Eleanor Parker, and I got to do a whole one-man show with the orchestra, Disney, and 26 pieces I think it was, and it was kind of like that's entertainment. And I did kind of a cross between a Sammy Davis Jr. and a Rich Little show, mixing it with impressions, you see. And at the end of the show, I opened with, hooray, hooray for Hollywood and all that sort of thing, and went on and on with doing different, anybody from Jimmy Stewart to Clark Gable, and of course all these other characters and so lots of stars. And I ended, the last piece was Make 'Em Laugh. And I jumped off the stage and went over to where Donald O'Connor was sitting with his wife. And I cleared the stuff on the table away, and I danced on the table. And the last note, I fell on Donald O'Connor's wife's lap, and he was sitting next to her, and he jumped up and he went like this, and I was, and the whole audience stood up, and I didn't know whether they were going to, tar and feather me and run me out of town on a rail, but they applauded, and sure enough, there was even some whistles, and that was from Ann Miller and June Allison. Of course, they were sitting ringside, front row, and they said, "Would you like to take a hot tub with us? With some champagne in our VIP suite?" And I went humming. But I couldn't do anything, even though they were old enough to be my grandmothers. But I didn't mind because they looked terrific. But I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she was about, at that point, ready to take me out for a walk, because I wasn't even housebroken yet. But I had a lot of fun, and it was wonderful because I had to break up talking with him because at the end, way in the back of the room, he was sick.
Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly was there.
Yes, Gene Kelly was there. Oh my God! Oh, my heart stood still. And I said, "Excuse me, Goyles, I got to go see, Gene." And he wasn't feeling good, but he stood up, and they said, "Well, you can't go near him, But I was about 20 feet away, and he turned around and he gave me that lilting Irish smile, and then he went.
Oh, that's
and he
great.
winked at me like that, and he went like this, and then his bodyguard came over and punched me. No, just kidding. No, but that Steve was to me, because you and I were song and dance men, so you can imagine
Absolutely.
the thrill it was to meet Gene Kelly, and even to have that glimpse and that moment. It's like lightning in a bottle, you know what I mean? And speaking of lightning in a bottle, I got the opportunity at the Carlisle Hotel in the lobby after the show. Debbie Reynolds was sitting there, and she was partners with my old boss from Rosie O'Grady's Good Time Jazz Emporium in Orlando, Florida, Church Street Station, and when they opened their operation in Vegas. So I had that opening, see, and I bought her a stuffy. And I presented it to her, and we talked a little bit, and I said, I do an impression
Of Gene Kelly.
Can
you do it for us?
Sure. And I went, Mr. Reynolds, I've always been a fan of yours, but I'd like to do this for you. And it was when you were up on the ladder, and the fan was blowing, and the chiffon dress, and
Singing in the Rain.
Yes, and Singing in the Rain, and very romantically, Gene Kelly looked up at her, and he went like this. You were meant for me. He was looking up her dress. I was meant for you. content. The angels must have sent you, and they made you just for me. And then she poked me in the eye, and then I shuffled off to Buffalo. But then what happened? Guess what? This just last year, they did a whole expose on Gene Kelly's career at the Lincoln Performing Arts Center. And who was there?
His wife.
That's right. Mrs. Ward, but Mrs. Kelly. And she was there, and she was so nice. Steve, she went outside, and she was shaking everybody's hand as they were standing in line buying tickets. And I walked up to her, and everyone was standing there. I said, Mrs. Kelly, I do an impression of your husband. I do your husband. She says, you do my husband? I said, wait a minute, not like that, but I impression him. And she goes, let's hear it. And everyone in line was going, what the hell is this? So I went, you were meant for me. I was meant for you. I content. The angels must have sent you, and they made you just for me. Oh, we all loved Gene Kelly.
We certainly did. And right now you're going to pay tribute also to his co-star Donald O'Connor with Make 'Em Laugh. Let's hear it for SPATZ Donovan. Thank you, SPATZ.
My pleasure. Make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My dad said, be an actor, my son, but be a comical one. They'll be standing in line for that old honky-tonk monkey shine. Now you could study Shakespeare and be quite elite. You could charm the critics and have nothing to eat. Slip on a banana peel, the world's at your feet. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My grandpa said, go out, tell 'em a joke, but give 'em plenty of hope. They'll make 'em roar, make 'em scream. Take the fall, but a wall, split a seam. Now you could study Shakespeare and be quite elite. You could charm the critics and have nothing to eat. Slip on a banana peel, the world's at your feet. Make 'em laugh, make 'em, make 'em. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My dad said, be an actor, my son, but be a comical one. They'll be standing in line for that old honky-tonk monkey shine. You start up be pretending you're a dancer with grace. You wiggle and you jiggle all over the place, and then you get a great big custard pie in the face. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh.
Right now, a centennial tribute to one of the most talented men in show business, Gene Kelly. Gene Kelly was born 100 years ago on August 23rd, 1912, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gene Kelly, dancer, singer, actor, director, and choreographer. He did it all. Gene began his career as a dance teacher. And then he appeared in Broadway shows, including the Rodgers and Hart show, Pal Joey, where he was a big hit playing the title role. In 1942, Gene Kelly went to Hollywood, signed a contract with MGM, and his first film was For Me and My Gal, starring Judy Garland. And here is the title tune of that film. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. The birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody's been knowing to a wedding they're going, and for weeks they've been sewing. Every Susie and Sal, they're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm gonna build a little home for 2 or 3 or 4 or more in Loveland for me and my gal. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. The birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody's been knowing to a wedding they're going, and for weeks they've been sewing. Every Susie and Sal, they're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm gonna build a little home for 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe more in Loveland for me and my gal. Gene Kelly and Judy Garland enjoyed working with each other so much that they made 2 more MGM films together, The Pirate and Summer Stock. Gene's other leading ladies included Katherine Grayson, Rita Hayworth, Vera Ellen, and Sid Charisse. Gene also danced with Fred Astaire and co-starred in 3 movies with his very good friend Frank Sinatra, all for MGM. Anchors Away, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and On the Town. Of course, Gene's 2 most famous films came in the 1950s, with the 1951 Academy Award-winning film An American in Paris, co-starring Leslie Caron and featuring an all Gershwin score. And then in 1952, Singin' in the Rain, co-starring Donald O'Connor and Debbie Reynolds. All the songs in Singin' in the Rain were written by Arthur Freed and Nacio Herb Brown. So right now, we'd like to close off our show with the song most identified with Gene Kelly. Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, singing, just singing in the rain. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, singing, just singing in the rain.